Thank you, Sue, or should I say Cato. Welcome, everybody, and on behalf of CEW, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is a very special event for us. It's our one fundraiser of the year, and tonight is our opportunity to raise money for our important scholarships for young women to help them in their career development. So we thank you all very much for coming. I wanted to say a special thank you to Sue, who is our dinner committee chairman, and to Fiona Balfour, Colette Garnsey and Kathy Keel. Haven't they done a fabulous job tonight in setting up this room? They always make it look so easy, but I know it's not. Look, just in terms of CEW, I know some of you know about our organisation, but I thought I should just give you a bit of a rundown. We're a group of 240 women around Australia, and what we want to do is really help women in terms of their career development. Our vision is to increase the representation of women in business, government and the not-for-profit sector. And we've got a long way to go, but we're on a journey and we're going to make it happen. Now, in the room tonight, I have a whole number of my members here, and I would like them all now to stand up, please. These are all women who have achieved great success in their careers, and they are role models, not only for women, but also for men. And they're our ambassadors, so please talk to them tonight about some of the activities that we're undertaking. I wanted to talk a bit more about our objectives and where we're going. You know, obviously over the past 100 years, we've made some real progress in terms of where equality is in terms of gender. But we've still got a long way to go. At the moment, we've still only got 3% of women heading major companies in Australia, and women only make up 8% of senior executives. We have made some progress this year. I think we're at 14.6% of women on boards of the top 200 companies. But as you can tell, we still have a long way to go. But I am very encouraged, and so are the members of CEWs, when we see the senior business and government leaders here tonight. We know that there is a new commitment to help driving change, and we thank you all for that commitment and for your help. Obviously, in terms of boards, it's important to increase the representation of women, but where we're really focused is on the senior executive ranks. So let me tell you a bit about what we're trying to do there. We have our annual leader development program where we have 150 women in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane being trained by our members. In addition, we have a range of thought leadership research underway, which we do together with Bain, and we also advocate on a whole range of women's issues in the workforce. This year, we have launched a whole new program called the CEO Conversation, which we have piloted with KPMG, IBM, Goldman Sachs and Origin. And we are very excited, based on the success of that program, of rolling that out now to another 10 to 20 companies over the next year. What this program is all about is working with CEOs and their senior management teams to work out what's working and what's not working in terms of their gender diversity program. So hopefully their senior management ranks will have more women in the future. But one of the most important initiatives that I want to talk to tonight is our scholarship program. Tonight we are delighted to announce our 2013 scholarship program, and we're going to support education for executive women across Australia. Next year we will have 19 scholarships, and these will be for women at various stages in their career, for women who are working part-time and for Indigenous women. This is a more than doubling of the scholarships that we have offered in the past few years. Thank you very much, Wendy. Some of our most sought-after scholarships are to Harvard in Boston and to INSEAD in Singapore, and this year alone we've sent 11 women to those places. And next year, 4 of our scholarships are going to be awarded to the police force, to women in New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland to help them with their leadership training. It has been very rewarding to receive feedback from some of our scholarship winners, and I'd like to reflect on the comments from one. Susan Dvorak went to Harvard this year, and she wrote to us. I should add, Suzanne is the CEO of Save the Children. It was a life-changing experience that focused our attention on new learning and opportunities for improvement of both ourselves as leaders and for our organisations. It is now timely that I thank our dinner sponsors tonight. You are all wonderful in terms of the generosity, because without your help, our scholarship program would not exist. And this year, I think it has been particularly inspirational to see your support, because we know how difficult the corporate economic environment has been. We're very grateful that you've made a strategic decision to help us, and you are investing in women leaders as leaders of the future. Firstly, I must acknowledge and thank Kingwood Mallison, who've been assisting us for over 4 years as our principal sponsor. Qantas has again been amazing, giving us our 2 first raffle prizes, and Sue's going to talk about them later. We also want to thank our remarkable gold sponsors, and there's a good list of them: ANZ, KPMG, Telstra and TAL, better known to some of us as Tower Australia. And our special thanks goes to our valued silver sponsors: Audrey Page and Associates, Commonwealth Bank, Dan Murphy's, Egon Zender International, Macquarie Group, National Australia Bank, PwC, Spencer Stewart, a new sponsor this year, Transfield Services and Westpac. Thank you all. Finally, I would like to thank our bronze sponsors, Deutsche Bank and Metcash, also a new sponsor this year. Thank you on behalf of CEW and our scholarship winners. As you can see from the programs I outlined earlier, CEW has become a very active organisation in assisting women in the workforce. As we are a small member-based organisation, we can't do this alone, so we've been forming partnerships and working closely with the Australian Institute of Company Directors, the Business Council of Australia, the Male Champions of Change, and the Equal Opportunity in the Workplace Agency. I would also like to acknowledge the enormous help that Bain has given us in terms of developing our strategy around partnerships. This is how we are going to drive gender change. We're not going to do it on our own. In addition, this year, ANZ agreed to become our major business partner, and we are delighted that their CFO, Shane Elliott, is here tonight representing CEO Mike Smith. Thank you. As a result of CEW's increasing work in supporting women in leadership, our council decided this year that the time was right for us to employ a Chief Executive Officer who would be able to help us deliver on our vision and implement our strategy. I am absolutely delighted to announce tonight CEW's inaugural CEO, and that is Julie White, who is here with us this evening. Julie is a member of CEW, and she has been in the professional services and corporate sector and not-for-profit sector for over 30 years. Julie was previously the head of the Macquarie Group Foundation, the philanthropic arm of Macquarie Group. Julie headed that foundation for 12 years and oversaw its growth into one of the most successful of the corporate foundations in Australia, giving away over $20 million a year to charities around the world. Julie was involved and responsible for setting up the staff program of volunteering and giving, and the staff at Macquarie last year gave away $10 million of their own money. Julie is a proven and innovative and passionate leader, and we are very much looking forward to her working with us at CEW. And I'd just like to reinforce the power of our scholarships, because it was Lisa George who was awarded our NCAD scholarship in 2011, who was promoted to take over Julie's job when she returned from Singapore and has now become the head of the Macquarie Foundation. Lisa, in thanking CEW for her scholarship, said it was a pivotal experience, giving her a deeper, practical understanding of how to manage and motivate her team. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Therese Raine as our guest speaker this evening. We are delighted that Therese has agreed to speak to us this evening, and it's for a number of reasons. Firstly, Therese is one of Australia's success stories. She is an extraordinarily successful entrepreneur who has grown her own business, Ingeus, into a major international employment services business. She is an inspirational businesswoman and a role model for many women and for men. In addition, Therese has not sought recognition for what she has done, and CEW believes she deserves it more than most. Tonight is about recognising and celebrating Therese's success. Therese started her career as a rehabilitation counsellor, helping people get back into the workforce, having been inspired by her father. She launched her own business, taking out a $10,000 loan against her family home. In 2007, Therese sold her Australian business in order to support her husband and to ensure there was no perceived conflicts when he took over as the Prime Minister of Australia. I am sure for Therese that must have felt like selling her family home. But Therese was undeterred. She took this as an opportunity to grow her business even further internationally and became the first Prime Minister's wife to remain in paid employment. Ingeus now operates from 150 locations around the world, employing 2,250 people, and is the largest provider of employment services in the United Kingdom. Last year, Therese restarted in Australia by acquiring Assure Programs, a business psychology services company. In between building Ingeus and supporting her husband, Therese has found time to raise 3 children, Jessica, Nicholas and Marcus, and is now the proud grandparent to Josephine. Therese has been extraordinarily generous to the community. She established the Raine Foundation to formalise her family philanthropy, but she closed it down when her husband became Prime Minister, again to avoid any perceptions of conflict. She hasn't stopped, though, giving to the community, because she is now the director of a large number of not-for-profit organisations, including the Indigenous Literary Foundation, Oz Harvest, and the International Paralympic Committee, just to name a few. We are proud to have Therese as a member of CEW, and we are very grateful for her taking the time tonight to speak to us. And I'd like you all to help me in warmly welcoming Therese to the stage. Thank you.